My name's Oliver Lomax, I'm a poet and educator, and today I'm going to be sharing a little bit of an exercise that I did as part of my poetry workshop. So my idea or workshop exercise is a poetry pass the parcel. It's taking something really familiar to our children and sort of parachuting the idea of poetry into it. So it's really fun and engaging, and it allows children to work collaboratively and also to learn a poem in stages, which I find is really important, because obviously if you're asking somebody to stand up and perform in front of the peers for the first time, that can be a bit overwhelming for them. So breaking it down into smaller sections in a fun game is a really good way of holding their attention and getting them engaged. So to begin, at the beginning, I chose my poem, I printed it off, and I cut it up into 10 equal sections. Obviously this will change for the amount of children you have in your workshop. I then started to build my pass the parcel. And in each layer I have my line of poetry, but I also printed out some context to the poem as well. So a little bit of a poetry fact or some background to the poem that we were learning. Importantly, in my layer of the pass the parcel, I also added a little prize. So a miniature Freddo or some Haribo. I'm aware if you're a teacher, you probably think this is a lot of prep, but please bear with it, because it really is such a worthwhile exercise. The classroom is set up in the round as you would to play a standard game of pass the parcel. I also need to be able to play some music, so having a mini Bluetooth speaker or somebody, a teaching assistant, who can sort of DJ for you. And I always begin this workshop whilst the room's set up in the round and my pass the parcel's in the middle by asking young people if they can give me their favourite song lyric, and probably maybe even stand up and recite it. And this breaks down a little bit of a barrier of what you're going to ask them to do during the poetry pass the parcel game. And then I create a little poetry jukebox, really, so of their favourite songs that we can play pass the parcel to. So it's like a standard game of pass the parcel. When the music stops, the young person will unwrap their layer. First of all, they will read out their little bit of context about the poem or some background or a fact about the poet. And then secondly, they will stand up to recite their line of poetry. If you do have some young people who are feeling a bit nervous, don't worry about it, offer it out to the room, or you yourself as the visiting poet or the teacher can take it and read it for them. And this just allows the game to keep flowing. If there's a discussion around the context of the poem mid-game, allow that to happen. That's really nice. You can sort of pair up where you're going to stop the music with which people you think might be able to deal with a certain part of the context or deliver a little bit of the line better. So it's there for you to be creative with, really, as a teacher and a practitioner, to open that up and yeah, experiment with this idea. For me as a facilitator, it was amazing to see just young people standing up for the first time ever and performing some lines of poetry. But what it does do is it fosters this sort of nurturing environment that is so key when young people are coming to perform their work, that they need that support. As we will see throughout the Poetry by Heart competition, that is what Poetry by Heart does. It supports young people and helps them find their voice through these amazing poems that are available. We would really love to see your pupils become part of Poetry by Heart and enter. And to find out more about next year's competition, you can visit the Poetry by Heart website, and alternatively, you can find even more information about young poets on the Poetry Society website. So I wish you luck, and yeah, have some fun.